Okie dokie. So this is an old Battenberg lace doily that I picked up at a thrift shop. Looks like somebody may have tea-dyed it. And the little hands are for a doll I'm making. It's cloth doll making by Patty Medeiros Kula. It's doll number 3. And these are the hands for doll number 3, and they are impossibly small. So I'm not going to use those hands for the doll body. I have the doll body cut out of the fabric already. I use some Pellon 830 pattern transfer fabric to trace the pattern out of the book so I didn't damage the book. And I'm going to make myself a water nymph. I still need to trace out the wings and the garment costume. What I typically do, I haven't made a doll since 2007. What I typically do is I start out using a pattern. I like Patty's work a lot. I have several other doll making books, and then I do the pattern, and then I kind of go off on making my own doll patterns. And it's just an easy way for me to start the fabric. I bought a bolt of this from Joann's online. It's fairly sheer. You can kind of almost see my hand through it, but you can see black lines through it. So I'll refamiliarize myself with the doll making process, make this fabric doll. I'll stuff her with wool roving, black wool roving, because that'll really make the pink fabric pop. It's my hand-painted fabrics. I forget what paint I use for that, but it's a fabric paint that you can't get in the States anymore. It's made by a French company. Anyway, so I was like, what am I going to do with these hands? And decided, they might look kind of interesting on this doily. So now to find a piece of backing fabric, and there's some more hand-painted fabric over here. I finally found my hand-painted fabric, and I'm slowly getting it washed, and so I can make bundles. I got this hand-painted fabric here. And what I did to create this hand-painted fabric, it's got fuzz all over. We have a Labradoodle, and has a wire coat. He's an F1A Labradoodle with a wire coat, and he sheds. So how I got this design on the fabric was, you take the fabric, you stretch it out on some wooden stretchers with some push pins, and then you put the paint onto the fabric using watered down 50-50 water, 50-50 paint, and squirt it out onto the fabric. And then as I was squirting it out, my husband was randomly throwing coarse salt crystals and fine salt crystals onto the fabric, and then as it dried, it creates this pattern. So I'm thinking something like this might be kind of fun. I'm looking at everything that's going on with Dr. Seuss and the book banning that's happening, and I saw this piece of fabric last night and wanted to do something for the Grinch. And I thought these hands were kind of interesting, so I may find some quilt batting and stitch this down. I have these hands out grabbing like this. And I have 2 going that way and 2 going this way. So it's kind of interesting looking. Something to think about, something to experiment with. Maybe make a little statement, I don't know. The color of the fabric comforts me though. But it does remind me of the Grinch. Anyhow, see you later.